especially if it was meat or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not the type of person that wants somebody to depend on, me to depend on nobody.
Okay.
So I just push myself. And if I'm hurting or whatever and don't have no energy, I'll still make myself get up, because there's a way that I feel that I need to move in order to get some energy. So it was hard, but she told me I did what I needed to do. That's what the physical therapy told me. That's why she said I ended up managed better than she said. But most people, I don't know, but.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of alluded to some of this before, but can you tell me what are some things that make it easier, or some things that help you manage your chronic health conditions on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I think I did throw that in there.
Yeah.
Trying to do it all myself,
Mm-hmm.
and not letting people feel sorry for me and do it. That's basically what it is.
Uh-huh.
They want to do, and you let them do it, and then you're defeating the purpose. You're really hurting yourself.
Right.
Yeah, and I had a real good male doctor when I was in the hospital with my stroke. And before I left, he told me not to depend on nobody, not to be completely dependent on nobody. And he gave me an example about his mother. He said he used to do for his mother more than what he should have did, and he think that's what made her, what she wasn't doing what she needed to do. Although I listened to him, but that was my plan anyway. But it was just good to hear somebody else give you that, their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you did mention that, it sounds like your family, like your children, do play a role in helping you take care of some things that you maybe need done.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little more about that? I know you mentioned, like, your daughter, correct me if I'm wrong, but your daughter came over and helped you set up, like, an alarm for your exercise? Or?
Well, my daughter, she stayed with me when I got out of the hospital with the coronavirus.
Okay.
Actually, both of us had tested positive. So she came over here and stayed with me since she was positive also. So she was here already. And then when my husband was in the hospital at that time, because he had congested heart failure and he had tested. They found out then that he had corona. He had went to the doctor that day. So he was admitted that day, and then I was tested positive the next day. Then when my daughter tested positive, like about 5 or 6 days later, she decided that she would come over here and sit and be here with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God that she did. So by corona being on, I couldn't see my husband. I could just call. And one morning, the morning of the 17th of July, I really don't know what happened, but I got up. I don't remember getting up. And I came into my living room, and I was calling her.
Mm-hmm.
And she came out of her room, and I just told her something wasn't right. And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I don't know. Something is not right." So she said she told me later that she had read up on corona. So she said she told me it was time for me to go for EMS. And she said I told her, no, I don't need to go to the hospital. But in between that, I don't remember, something just went blank in between. I don't remember her calling, but I remember EMS coming to the door and somebody sit me down, and they were asking me questions like what was my name and my birthday and things like that. Then I remembered them putting me on a stretcher and taking me out, and then in between it was just blank. So I don't know, but it was good she was here. But it still puzzles me because if I don't remember getting up out to bed, how do I remember she was here? So, but I don't know. But they told me the coronavirus does that. Mm-hmm. It was messing with my nervous system. So I don't know what I would have did if she hadn't have been here, because it's still puzzling to me. Mm-hmm. And then my son, I have another son. I have him come over and cut the grass and everything for me, along with one of my church members. He comes and cut the grass, and they keep that up for me. Mm-hmm. And I have one that my other son, he, like I said, brought dirt out here for me, and whatever I need, I can call on them to come and help me with the things that I may not be able to do, or just in between. If I know they're coming over this way, I just have them to bring it. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do. I try not to put it all on one of them, and I try not to put much on none of them, really. If I can do something, I do it myself, and then I'll get some help when I need my help.
Okay. How do you think certain things about your situation, maybe some things like finances, mobility, pain, transportation, caregiving needs, how do you think those things have shaped how you manage your chronic health conditions?
It still don't. I think I still manage it real good as far as finance and everything. I don't shop as much as I used to, and actually I don't feel like doing it. Before my husband passed, I used to tell him that I would go to the doctor, but we didn't go like some of the people, like you may have heard, stop going to the doctor because of coronavirus. Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't go either, but I could tell something was going on with me because I love to shop, and I would go to the store, but I would get tired real fast. So I told him, I said, that's not like me. And he said, no, because you're normally at the store longer than this. I'm surprised you're back. But I told him, I said, I just got tired. I said, I was just walking around in Walmart. But I had been going, we had went to the doctor back in January, and I told my doctor, after I got this virus and got better, I told him, I say, if you can remember, before they really realized what coronavirus was, I say, I was complaining about, both of us was complaining about all of these symptoms. I say, so I believe it's possible that we had it, but nobody knew what it was. So he said, well, that's possible because it wasn't diagnosed until later. Mm-hmm. So I told him, I say, but I don't know how we would have gotten it. And I say, I know my husband couldn't have gotten it later than that because he didn't go anywhere. But we just don't know, and I still don't have an answer as to where I could have gotten it from. But I do believe that I probably was exposed or whatever before it was out that coronavirus existed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions about how you interact with your healthcare providers, such as your doctors, in terms of your chronic condition. So could you describe how your provider works with you to help manage your chronic health conditions?
A lot of times when I go to the doctor, I tell them exactly what's going on with me, and I'm not the type of person that likes to take a lot of pills.
Mm-hmm.